So using HubSpot, you've got this great marketing automation engine, and just imagine MQL is that's what the automation's for. It's not quite good enough to really, do outbound to them and really engage with them. So one idea is just load it up with low bar. Doesn't really matter. Just load it up. You never really know. Maybe in a year, maybe 2 years, they'll turn around, they'll give you a call. The other approach is no, it does matter. And we want to really focus on people who actually might care to buy our services. And I don't know, hypothetically, let's say the net is actually the same. You get the same conversion, the number of conversions out of each option. Is there any reason why you would choose one or the other?
Or
I
here,
guess
just
it would be a test case. I mean, more than anything else, because we don't have the data to say one works better than the other. I mean,
I
it
think
just.
let me interject
But
here. Let me help you out. I think what you're trying to say is what you wrote to me was assuming that you have the same outcome. Is there a preference in strategy if you just run email nurture automation to a high volume of contacts, leads, MQLs versus a lower volume approach to high intent buyers? And you're making the assertion that the conversion to revenue will be the same, whether you run the high volume, low intent or the low volume, high intent. Is there a benefit to choosing one or the other if the outcome is the same? I think that's what you're trying to propose,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
the outcome
Okay.
is the same, but the conversion rates would be different, right? But so it's
Yeah.
mainly the outcome's the same. So for me, when I think about this, I'm always going for the lower volume, higher efficiency because it scales better. Because when you have lower efficiency, it drives a headcount model. It drives you needing more SDRs. It drives you needing more sales reps because you win opportunities at 8% instead of 25% like you should. You pay way more for every lead that you process through. And so that's like my.
So even with that automation, at some point, your SDR is going to have to be involved, and that's headcount, and that requires more effort.
Yeah, and the efficiency, like I don't think that people really understand because they blend MQLs together, the efficiency differences between these. Like for in a lot of cases, if you're running things like content syndication, paid social lead gen, even like low intent paid search lead gen on content, things like that, that you're going to need 100 times more leads to hit the same revenue target. And when you like create that thing, so let's say you need like 10,000 to hit your revenue target, and then you have to 100x that, and you got to go out and get, what is that? I think that's a million. Like a million leads with those conversion rates in order to hit the same revenue target, assuming the standard like benchmark conversion rates that I see across almost every company that does those tactics. And so as it scales, it gets to a place where it's literally impossible, which is typically when companies start to call us because they realize like, hey, like one year we were at 12,000 leads, and then what we did is we looked at the target and we realized we had to triple it to keep going on our path, and then we tripled it, but we didn't really hit the target, and now all of a sudden we're generating 100,000 leads a year, spending a ton of money, and we're not really sure how it's working, what's it going to go. We have a ton of SDR headcount that's unproductive, and you get to a place where. So like it would be the easiest equivalent for people to really understand here. The way that I look at like these types of systems is if we were building a manufacturing facility. And we're building a manufacturing facility where we take in parts and then we have to put them together to create a new product, and then it goes out the door and we can sell it. And then the inbound parts are leads. And every time a lead comes in that isn't good, that somebody goes in and we start to create a widget, and then halfway down the assembly line, we realize that part was false and we have to throw it out, that we wasted all that time. And then you do that over and over and over again, and your manufacturing facility is very inefficient. And so that's where like the like Toyota, whatever they did, Six Sigma or things like that really get in. And like I'm trained on some of those things. I look at processes in that way. And so people have been sold an idea that volume is the answer. It's usually almost never the answer in my experience. It's the answer if you can maintain the stability of the system through volume, but that doesn't happen very often. Hey everyone, this is Chris Walker, the CEO of Refine Labs. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe to the channel for more videos in the future. We're also live for Demand Gen Live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern every Tuesday night, which will also go on the State of Demand Gen podcast, which is available on Apple and Spotify. Thanks again and see you next time.